When you think of the word Egypt, what comes to mind? Pyramids, pharaohs, and plagues? Well, that's just a small part of Egypt's rich history. In today's video, we are going to take a deep dive into the stories from the Bible that took place in Egypt. From Joseph to Moses, we will uncover the ancient truths that have been hidden for thousands of years. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn all about the complete story of the Bible. The story of Joseph is one of the most well-known stories in the Bible. It's a tale of betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption. Joseph was sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, but he eventually rose to become the right-hand man of the Egyptian pharaoh. During a time of famine, Joseph used his position to save not only his family, but the entire nation of Egypt. The story of Joseph is a testament to the power of faith and the importance of forgiveness. Now let's talk about Moses. Moses is perhaps the most iconic figure in the Old Testament. He led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and into the Promised Land. But did you know that Moses' story began in Egypt? When Moses was born, Pharaoh ordered that all male babies be killed. Moses' mother, fearing for her son's life, placed him in a basket and set him adrift on the Nile River. By the grace of God, Moses was found by Pharaoh's daughter, who raised him as her own. As an adult, Moses fled to Midian after killing an Egyptian who was mistreating a Hebrew slave. In Midian, Moses had a vision of God and was called to lead the Israelites out of slavery. With the help of his brother Aaron, Moses confronted Pharaoh and demanded that he release the Israelites. Pharaoh refused, and God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. The plagues included the turning of water into blood, the death of all the firstborn sons, and the darkness that covered the land. Finally, Pharaoh relented, and the Israelites were freed. However, Pharaoh quickly changed his mind and pursued the Israelites into the wilderness. God then parted the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape. Pharaoh and his army attempted to follow, but God caused the waters to crash down, destroying the entire army. After escaping from Egypt, the Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years before entering the Promised Land. Moses led the people and made laws and commandments that became the foundation of Judaism. The story of Joshua. After Moses died, Joshua became the leader of the Israelites. Joshua led the Israelites into the Promised Land, and they began to conquer the land and establish their 12 tribes. The story of Ruth. The story of Ruth takes place during the time of the Judges. Ruth was a Moabite woman who followed her mother-in-law Naomi back to Bethlehem after her husband died. In Bethlehem, Ruth met Boaz, a wealthy landowner who was a relative of Naomi's deceased husband. Ruth and Boaz fell in love and married, and their union symbolized the covenant between God and his people. The story of Esther. The book of Esther tells the story of a young Jewish woman named Esther, who becomes the queen of the Persian Empire. Esther's cousin Mordecai discovers a plot to kill the king's new queen, Queen Esther, because she was Jewish. Mordecai alerts Esther, who then intervenes and saves not only herself, but the entire Jewish people. So there you have it, a brief overview of the complete story of the Bible. From the ancient tales of Joseph and Moses to the heroic deeds of Esther, these stories have stood the test of time and continue to be relevant today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos about the Bible. See you next time.